Yeah, I'm not gonna make this too long. I just wanted to come on here to address the Snow White situation and just go out of my way to say that like the way the movie flops and is flopping hard at the box office, right? And one of the things that makes me just question whether this movie really is terrible. Now I'm saying critics are saying it's terrible, but then I see a 73% audience score, on Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm like, is this movie really worse? Than Dragon Ball Evolution, where Dragon Ball Evolution I think it's like a 2.6 on IMDb, where Snow White's a 1.6. I'm like, there's no way this movie's worse than Dragon Ball Evolution. I'm like, even on the off stretch that it could potentially be worse than Dragon Ball Evolution, it is just you have the fact that there's a little bit more talent. I mean, to be fair, Emmy Rossum's a great ass actor. There's another guy who's can't remember his name, but they're both on Shameless. He's a good actor, Jamie Chung. But Rachel Zegler, as far as I'm concerned, apparently the singing is great and her performance isn't that terrible, but Gal Gadot apparently is atrocious. So you already have that issue where you have a star that's controversial based off of the shit that she says out her mouth, and it seems like the people who support her are louder on the internet than when it comes to the money, because the people who support her didn't seem to pull up to the box office. So it's evident that it's a much smaller number who support Rachel Zegler than not. I don't completely hate the girl, but I'm not going to admit the fact that she said some heinous shit out her mouth regarding to the election. I don't even care about the Palestine stuff. I don't really focus on that stuff. But when Trump won the election and she's like, people who voted for Trump don't deserve peace. That's some wild shit to say out of your mouth for anybody, celebrity, not celebrity. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, you put it on the internet for everybody to see. You just alienated a whole lot of people this year. You alienated a whole lot of people. You alienated the Disney fans. You alienated the conservatives. You alienated so many people who voted for Donald Trump this past election. And I'm not trying to make this political, but I'm saying like this is something that I'm saying. It's like you just don't know what to say out your mouth at what time and when to put yourself in this position. So now, as far as I'm concerned, Gal Gadot has said absolutely nothing. Nobody has any issues but Gal Gadot, but no one thinks she's a great actress either. So the big issue is that how atrocious Gal Gadot is, of how not good of an actress she is, how she really is not great of a singer, but she pulls up into the Snow White movie as the evil queen, and it's like, well, damn, shorty, you really just had no reason to be here. Then you had all the controversy around, whether the seven dwarves were like the seven diverse whatever the hell, and that caused backlash. Then apparently the dwarves, I'm looking at them in the trailers. I'm like, yo, these dwarves look crazy. These nightmare inducing for real, for real. So then you had that issue too. It is just so not legitimate of what the hell was going on around the film. But I can admit that I understand why the film bombed, because you had all that bullshit involved with it. The trailers looked goofy. Then they decided to change the story. I'm not the biggest fan of the original film, but I can't sit here and act like it wasn't a more put together movie just based off what I've been hearing. And it's shorter, and it's a movie from 1937. Character moments, character development, things coming back to place. Apparently, that's just not the case with this movie. From what I've been reading, from what I've been hearing from other people, like The Drinker and Film Speak and other people, it just doesn't sound like a great film. And truth be told, I didn't really see the movie. I'm kind of tempted to see the movie tomorrow now, just because what the hell is in this film? You know what I'm saying? They already messed up the look. You know what I'm saying? Rachel Zegler is a beautiful girl, and they made her look like Laura Farquaad, bro. And I'm just like, bruh, like you didn't have to do this to her. Now, not to be all like racially charged or anything, but as a girl, as a Latin girl, you know what I'm saying? The picture she put up to honor Adrian Casaloti, I think that look would have looked better on her than the look they gave her. And I really think they should have just put more time into the suit. Like it just looks cheap. Like Gal Gadot's Evil Queen costume looks great. I think her Evil Queen costume looks A1. But Rachel Zegler's Snow White suit just looks so bad. It just looks like I can go get that from Party City. Same quality and everything. They didn't even really try to make it like match her body either, in my opinion. Like it just didn't look right. It looked cheap as hell. And if you're gonna spend upward of apparently not 209, but damn near 270 million on this type of movie, which is the most expensive one out of all your live action films, as far as the live action Disney movies are concerned, this doesn't look well made. It looks like y'all didn't even really put time in, but I know Zegler got cast in like late 2022, early 2023, somewhere around there. So y'all had time to really make this look good, and it just doesn't look good at all. So unfortunately for y'all, y'all just kind of played yourselves. And honestly, Disney, y'all kind of deserve it, bro. Y'all been on some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all been on bull. Like y'all kind of getting what y'all deserve. I'm gonna be honest with you. This movie, with all the stuff around it, unfortunately, Gal Gadot is not a great actress, but I still like her. You know what I'm saying? Seems like a nice person. Rachel Zegler seems very obnoxious, just very obnoxious. And that's not good, especially when you're like politically charged and you don't really have that much experience in the world like that. Like, you can't just be out here just saying shit like that out your mouth. You alienated so many people from that box office. And to be honest, I don't think the hate for Snow White would have been as bad if you would have just fell back and shut up. You know what I'm saying? And then, apparently that message, that woke message that's been in movies for so long is apparently dying out. Nobody wants to hear that shit anymore. People just want to go to the movies and be entertained. And I'm on the same team. I want to go to the movies and rock out with the movie. I don't really want to, like, it works when it's one movie every other year. But when it's been like the last bunch of films, it just doesn't work out for you, sweetheart. I'm sorry, but the movie bombed because Disney killed it. That's just what it is. The movie bombed because Disney killed it. And with that being said, that's all I had to say on topic. Like I said, I didn't want to make this long, but Disney gonna have to learn. Hollywood gonna have to learn one way or the other. Feel me? Like they gonna have to learn. And that's it. That's all I gotta say. I'll catch you on the next one. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.